Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji to all Sangat, and Shukrana Guruji Maharaj for this seva of sharing my satsang. Guruji says कि जो सत्संग share करता है और जो सत्संग सुनता है, they are both blessed. So thank you Guruji for this blessing today. Where do I start my journey with Guruji? Let me start right at the beginning. Even prior to my knowing and being introduced to Guruji, from the very beginning of my birth or being a teenager, I was always a very religious person. And बहुत व्रत रखती थी, हर हफ्ते at least 2-3 व्रत. I used to go to the temple very often. Dad के साथ गुरुद्वारा जाती थी, मंदिरों में, घर में माता की चौकी होती थी. My dadi used to keep. And then as I grew up, we used to believe in Mata Rani. And then my father was an ardent believer of Shirdi Sai Baba. So once I came to the US, every year I used to visit Shirdi Sai Baba, Balaji Temple, and Siddhi Vinayak. Every January I used to go off and I would go to these temples and then come back within a week. So 7 years in a row I did that. But there was still an unrest within me. There was no fulfillment. Then I got into Buddhist practice, and for 7 years I was into Buddhism. And I was always, chanting for many, many hours, 6-7 hours in a row. I would chant, and Sensei, a Buddhist leader, would always say that every 7 years, a person's life changes. And right after that, I went to Avdut Baba Shivananda's Shiva retreat. And uske baad, July, it was in February actually, February of 2012, one of my very close friends, Rashmi Bhatnagar Aunty, she had connected to Guruji prior. So usne mere ko apne ghar mein satsang ke liye invite kara. And right after the Buddhist practice, I went directly to her house. And wahan baiti, and that was my first introduction to Guruji. Satsang chal raha tha, and chai prasad was offered to me, aur bahut chini thi usme. And for the first time, I was trying to lose weight, and I refused the chai prasad, but they forced me to drink it, and I did. And I had a little tiff with one of the sangat also regarding Buddhist practice, and I came away from there not feeling too good about it. Anyway, a year later, July 7th, 2013, fast forward, again, Rashmi Bhatnagar Aunty invited me for Guruji's birthday at Akbar Restaurant. I live in New Jersey, by the way, and there was no mandir here at the time. And gharo mein tab satsang hote the. So they were having a big celebration for Guruji's birthday at the Akbar Restaurant in New Jersey. So she said, "Hamare Guruji ka birthday hai, you should come." So we had a huge World Peace conference in New Jersey for our Buddhism. And I said, "I'm busy there, but on my way back, I'll definitely stop by." She's my very good friend, so wo jahan bulati hai, I definitely go. And on my way back, I stopped by at Akbar Restaurant. Wahan satsang khatam ho chuka tha. And people were dancing and singing, and there was a huge chaos going on. So I walked in there, and I was just wondering in my head, I said, what kind of a satsang is this? So मैं अंदर गई, and my friend pulled me, and she's like, आके माथा टेको, So I went, मैंने माथा टेका वहाँ, और जैसे मैं उठी, one auntie came forward, and she handed me the book Light of Divinity. And I took that book, and मैं खड़ी थी, and my friend Rashmi comes in, she says, "How did you get this book?" So I looked at her, I thought सबको बट रही है वो book. So she says, "No, you're the only one who got this book." So I pointed out to that area. I said, "I don't know." She just handed it to me. So I went behind her. I said, "Why did you give me this book?" She's like, Guruji ka hukum. And I looked at her. That went right over my head. And fast forward, we danced and ate food. And mere ko us din lockets mile, Guruji ke swaroop mile. And there was one uncle and auntie who approached me right away that meri ladki ka divorce ho raha, and we've heard you're a big attorney. I'm an attorney. And they said, we heard you're a big attorney and we need your help. So I'm like, what is going on over here? So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, just call me later on. So that's how I left that place. That was my first introduction to Guruji. So मैं घर आई and I sat down, at home, and I was curious. I looked at this book. I was in a very high position in state government. I had a car, chauffeur, everything. If any person saw me from outside in, I was in a very envious position. But from inside out, if you asked, everything was wrong in my life, which nobody could see. Personally, professionally, everything I felt was wrong. It was at a point in my time where Guruji took me in his fold, which was very much needed. Despite all my religious practices, there's a void, a huge void in my life. And Guruji's entry in my life was the biggest blessing that I could have asked for. तो मैं जब बैठी Light of Divinity book को लेके, at night I read a few pages and I put it on my bedside table and I went to sleep. और उस दिन रात को I get a dream. I don't see Guruji, but I feel कि मैं जन्नत में पहुंच गई हूँ और clear waters और sky से फूल गिर रहे हैं and I'm just driving और बिल्कुल like जैसे शांति. And I woke up in the morning and I just felt so light, like all my problems are gone. They were not gone, but it was just the ehsas. The perspective had changed. And when I woke up, I just looked at his picture, the जो स्वरूप मेरे को मिले थे. And I just sort of made a pact with him that I don't know what this is, but जहाँ भी सत्संग होंगे, wherever I get an invite, I'm not going to go looking for it. आपको जहाँ बुलाना है, I will go. And from that moment onwards, wherever from nowhere, people would send me a text message or an email or call me. And I didn't even know these people. I started getting invited to satsangs all over, whether it was in Pennsylvania or way up North Jersey or Long Island. And when I got that invite, I would my commitments and I would be at that satsang. And little by little, my friends started disowning me because I'd literally disconnected from my social circle and I was just going to these satsangs. और मैं पीछे बैठती थी और जैसे लंगर प्रसाद खत्म होता था, I would just leave. And people would see me, they would recognize me because I was in a very high position at that time, but I didn't want to talk to anyone. I would just get up and I would leave. And itne mein, there were few people who had moved to New Jersey who had actually met Guruji in physical form. And they approached me and they said कि हम ना यहाँ एक designated जगह ढूंढ रहे हैं and we know you're an attorney, will you help us help us with a lease? So I said, yeah, sure. आप मेरे को बताना and definitely I will help. So a month or so went by और ये सत्संग चलता रहा लोगों के घरों में. And then finally in November of 2013, I reached out to them. I said, what happened? I never heard from you about the lease. So they said, things are very expensive, so we haven't been able to, find anything. I said, that's fine. I'll also keep my eyes and ears open. And with Guruji's grace, through my contacts, we eventually, with his blessing, I'm not going to get into very much details of that. The first mandir outside India was formed in New Jersey. And we had the good fortune of, getting the blessing of Guruji on Guruji Ka Ashram, which is affiliated with Bade Mandir India, was formed in New Jersey, and it is in Somerset, 347 Elizabeth Avenue. तो वो हमें गुरुजी ने बहुत ढेर सारी blessing दी, जहाँ इतनी संगत जुड़ गई है अब, and we started that mandir here in New Jersey. So वो सारी गुरुजी की blessing है और हमें सेवा करने का मौका मिला. इतने beautiful सेवादार जुड़ गए हैं यहाँ. So that's all Guruji's grace. I think he had that planned. 2014, 2014, I think it was Baisakhi. was the first satsang in the mandir here in New Jersey. Um, and currently we are at 347 Elizabeth Avenue in Somerset, and it is an affiliate. Then I flew down to India. We met Gaurav Uncle in Bade Mandir and we formed the affiliation. And currently that's where we stand. So वो तो बहुत 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 शुक्राना है गुरुजी का कि we have this beautiful mandir in New Jersey, and I invite all संगत कि जब भी आप यहाँ आए, please call, come, visit. And currently we are looking to have a land and build, but वो भी गुरुजी के timing है, गुरुजी का grace है. So moving forward, as everybody knows, every day is a satsang with Guruji. Once he takes you in his fold, you just have to trust him. You just have to surrender. And Guruji bolte hain, mango mat mano. And that's what I have learned through my journey with Guruji. He's Mahashiv. He will give you what you ask for. And we need to watch and be very alert as to what we ask for. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I made in the very beginning of my journey with Guruji. So right after this mandir was made, Guruji came in my dream. मेरे सपने में आए, and I was going through some personal issues, and I'm not going to get into the details of the dream. But मेरे always इच्छा होती थी, गुरुजी अब जब भी मेरे dream में आओ ना, I want you to hug me. तो एक दिन early morning, it may be around 2 or 3 in the morning, I woke up, I went to the bathroom, I came lay down, and then I feel कि Guruji is standing by my bedside. He's wearing jeans and an orange, white and orange striped t-shirt. Or by my bedside, like near the foot, he's standing. And I'm looking through my comforter, and I say, oh my God, Guruji, aap aa gaye? And I'm peeking. And then I get out of my bed, and Guruji walks up, and I get out, and then he gives me a hug, and my head is on his shoulder, and I'm just weeping and weeping and weeping, and he's holding me. And then we had a 15-minute, very long conversation. And I'm discussing my issue, which is very, very personal. And I vividly, vividly remember that whole conversation. And Guruji is telling me something that he doesn't want to give it to me. And I'm convincing him that he's wrong and he should give it to me. And that was the biggest mistake I ever made. And Sangaji, he gave me what I convinced him to give me, which was the biggest mistake of my life. And he showed me why it was wrong for me. But I wasted a couple years by realizing that जब गुरुजी कुछ बोलते हैं तो वो हमें मान लेना चाहिए. And we shouldn't ask him for anything. He knows our problems. We should just listen to him. So at this stage in my life, I do not ask for anything because I really don't know what to ask for. He knows my problems. Let him resolve it. His timing is always perfect. We just have to have the patience. So that was my initial learning with him, which to this day, I regretted. Anyway, there are many satsangs, and I really don't know where to begin, but I'll start with health. Since after COVID, we've all learned that health is extremely important. So the first one is when I had gone to Bhare Mandir to get the affiliation agreement. And when I came back here, I immediately wanted to come back after getting all the work done. So मैं जब यहाँ पहुंची, as soon as I landed here, I was extremely sick. और तब वहाँ बहुत डेंगू फैला हुआ था in India. And when I came here, I sat in Guruji's darbar and I'm like, Guruji, I hope it's not dengue. And बहुत fever था मेरे को, and I sat with him and I'd taken a lot of meds, and I was praying to him. I said, Guruji, I really don't want this to be dengue. Please just cure me. And so the light of divinity, from the day I got it, the first day, it's my Bible. Every morning I read it and I get my messages through that. Guruji literally talks to me through the light of divinity. So मैंने वो book खोला, and there's a satsang in there where he's telling this auntie, dengue o ki honda, chal kuch nahi hoya. And literally that page came out and he gave me my answer that it's not dengue, relax, nothing has happened. And uske few hours ke baad, I just started feeling better. So that was the end of dengue. Uske baad jab COVID when COVID started, um, I was all alone at home, and my kids couldn't meet me. My family, everybody was just literally locked up in their own homes. So right in the first week, I got very, very sick. And some hospitals, people were getting hospitalized, and I had made up my mind that I'm not going to go to any hospital. So मैं तो गुरुजी के यहाँ बैठ गई यहाँ, and I'm like, गुरुजी, you're my doctor, you're going to cure me. I'm not going to any hospital. तो बस आप ही देख लो. And I was literally couldn't even walk. I was high fever. तो रात को जब मैं सोई तो गुरुजी came in my dream and he said, चल चल उठ जा, कुछ नहीं होया है, जाके शैम्पू चेंज कर ले तो नारियल का पानी पी. और सुबह मैं उठी तो मैंने अपने लोकल ग्रोसरी स्टोर को कॉल किया, I know the owner, and I said I need नारियल का पानी. So he said just drive by, I'll throw it in your trunk. And then I rummaged in my bathroom and I was seeing कि कौन सा दूसरा शैम्पू है जो मैं चेंज करूं. तो मेरे को एक पुराना बॉटल मिला. I pulled that out. I changed, took a shower. I was sick, but I took a shower, changed, washed my hair with a new shampoo, and then I went and picked up the nariyal ka pani. Right after that, within a few hours, I started getting better and I was like a new person. So sometimes Guruji says things जो मेरे को पता नहीं, I was like, Guruji, इससे क्या होगा? But we do not question our Guru. जो वो बोलते हैं, उनके जो लफ्ज हैं, वो पत्थर की लकीर है. Just follow it. There's no logic, there's no reason to what he says. He tests his bhagat. And I just did that and it was fine. Then I had a lot of issues with my legs and my knees. And I was in a lot of pain at one point. And again, pray kar rahi thi कि गुरुजी मेरे legs में बहुत बहुत pain है. So right away that day, Seema Aunty from India, she forwarded me, out of the blue, she forwarded me her satsang. And usko मैंने सुना तो वो satsang में, when she met Guruji, she had gone for her son. But Guruji tells her that तू अपने problem दस. And she tells him कि मेरे legs में बहुत pain है. And he says, आज के बाद नहीं होगा. So literally, he made me hear that satsang as a blessing. And uske baad my pain went away. So, I mean, Guruji is just amazing. Then I had some ankle issues. And Usha Singh Auntie's son also had ankle issues. And unka maine, out of the blue, I was rummaging through satsangs and I heard her son satsang, जिसमें गुरुजी ने उनको बोला था कि hot and cold water का, पहले hot water में फिर cold water में अपने वो ankles को डालो, hot में, cold में, and do that. So I was like, thank you, Guruji. और वो मैंने करा and that resolved that issue. So, I mean, health issues always go on. I'm, with Guruji's grace, turned 64. So obviously, health issues will always remain. But with Guruji's grace, um, he's kept me in his seva. And बस prayer है कि Guruji बस सेवा में ही रखे. And किसी पे dependent ना रखे. That's my prayer every day to him. So बहुत बहुत शुक्राना Guruji. I would like to share my satsang regarding my daughter. I only have one child, my daughter Sabrina. And like every parent, you always pray. मेरा always वो मन में रहता था कि Guruji, what will happen to her? She's my only child. She has no sibling. मेरे बाद उसका कौन ख्याल रखेगा? So always मन में वो इच्छा थी कि she should connect to Guruji. So pre-Guruji, before I was introduced to Guruji, any path I followed, I made sure my daughter was with me. So if I was into Buddhism, she used to chant with me. And prior to Guruji, I used to go to every astrologer possible. मेरे fingers में हर किसी तरीके का भी ring पहना हुआ था मैंने, whether it was sapphire or the pearl, or every finger was occupied with one astrological ring. तो मेरी डॉटर को भी मैंने पहनाया हुआ था. एंड जब गुरुजी के पास में आई तो एक सत्संग किसी ने शेयर करा था मंदिर में कि गुरुजी कहते थे कि ये रिंग्स को हटा दो बिकॉज इट इंटरफियर्स विद माय ब्लेसिंग. सो आई सैट डाउन विद गुरुजी एंड बड़े डर डर के मैंने निकाला. ऐसे गुरुजी आपके सामने मैं रख रही हूँ, नाउ एवरीथिंग इज इन योर हैंड. सो मैंने तो अपने फिंगर से उतार दिए. So my daughter was in college. She was on campus. She didn't live at home at the time. So I called her and I told her, Sabrina, please take your rings off because that's what Guruji says. And she's like, no, Mama, I'm not. You keep confusing me. Sometimes you say follow Buddhism, now you follow Guruji, now remove your rings. I'm not going to take it off. So I just prayed to Guruji ki ab aap hi nikalwa lo uske rings, because she's not listening to me. So then following day, she calls me up and she's like, Mom, my fingers are really itching. You know, where you made me wear that ring, it's all swollen and it's really, really itchy. So I was like, Guruji, aapne koi chakkar chalaya. So I said, why don't you remove all the rings and put this lotion and let it heal for a while. So she had to forcefully remove her rings. Guruji ne nikalwaya uske rings. She put the lotion and I said, now don't put the rings back on. So that was his way of getting her rings removed. And the next day, I took Guruji's picture, Swaroop, and I dropped it off at her dorm. And I said, why don't you keep this by your bedside and let Guruji protect you? So धीरे 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 she totally connected to him. And आज ऐसी situation है where she doesn't make any decision without praying to Guruji, without his hukum, without, I mean, she's an ardent follower of Guruji. So when she graduated from college, even prior to graduating, when she was looking for internships, तो उसको internship नहीं मिल रहा था. And she came and sat at home and she was like very, very upset. She's like, I'm not finding an internship, but I've applied to places. I said, Guruji will definitely find you an internship. Just have faith in it. So one day she gets a call from this Christian Louboutin. It's a designer firm, and they were like, we're calling you for an interview. Why don't you come? So वो जब interview के लिए गई, she asked them, she said, I never applied to you guys. Where did you get my resume from? And they're like, oh, we'll check and we'll let you know. And then they offered her the internship, but they were not paying her any money. And it was going into Manhattan. So she tells me, Mom, it's going to be so expensive to go in. It's not even worthwhile. They're just giving me credits. So I was like, Guruji, ab internship dilwaye to thode paise dilwa do, so it covers her commute. So she was calling to reject it. And then they're like, you know what? We've decided to cover your commute and some additional expenses. So she was taken aback. It was like literally Guruji's blessing. And again, she asked them, where did you get my resume from? And Sangaji, to this day, we do not know how her resume reached them. They gave her a stipend to cover her costs, and she started that interview. So again, totally Maharaj's grace, his blessing upon her. उसके बाद she graduates from college and उसको कोई job नहीं मिल रहा था. On campus interviews के लिए she went. And then she comes home one day, we both sat down, we did a satsang. और उसके बाद immediately after that, she gets 3 offers in a row. One from Bank of America, one from JP Morgan Chase, and one was from some other place, I can't remember. तो फिर आप गुरुजी के साथ बैठ गए हम कि गुरुजी इन तीनों में से कौन सा सिलेक्ट करें. Again, I was like, let's pray to him. And we opened the light of divinity. और उसमें एक अंकल का सत्संग आया जिसमें गुरुजी had told him कि JP Morgan Chase में job मिली उसको. So I said, there you go, that's your answer. So she joined JP Morgan Chase. And then after that, she went to law school and she's currently a lawyer in a very large law firm. उसके बाद I always used to pray to Guruji कि गुरुजी इसके ना 25 years में आप शादी करा देना, but I really want कि इसके संगत के साथ कोई संगत परिवार हो और संगत का कोई लड़का हो जिसके साथ इसकी शादी हो. And again, with Guruji's blessings, she met Aruj, my son-in-law, who's like a son to me. They met in the temple, सेवा करते समय पूरे परिवार गुरु परिवार है in our Somerset Guruji का आश्रम New Jersey मंदिर, and the whole family is from our parivar. We meet all the time there. We all live close by, and Guruji ki kripa se it was a beautiful wedding. I don't know how I pulled it off as a single mother, but only Guruji could have that happen. And that's a huge satsang in itself. He even came in my dream and sent me to India to do seva in Bada Mandir 3 days before the wedding. And everybody thought I was crazy to fly to India for 2 days, 3 days before her wedding. And when he came in my dream, I booked my tickets. I flew to India, मैं बड़ा मंदिर में सेवा करके वापस आई, and then the wedding, the first satsang, the kickoff satsang started here, and then the celebration started. And बहुत blessings थी. We could feel Guruji's presence सारा उसका मंडप सजा था, जो मंडप उसका था, it was a huge picture of स्वरूप of Guruji's, and उसके नीचे बैठ के उसके पूरे लावा फेरे हुए हैं. So, and today Sabrina and my I have a grandson who's almost going to be 2 in December, and Akshay's name was given by Guruji. So when my daughter was pregnant, and her pregnancy is a whole huge satsang in itself, but when Akshay was going to be born, my kids did not know the gender of the baby. They didn't want to know. And उन्होंने girls के names, boys के names सब दोनों select करके रखे हुए थे. But a week before he was going to be born, and I would keep sending them names, and a week before he was going to be born, got a dream. My son-in-law got a dream. कि गुरुजी एक baby को ऐसे खिला रहे हैं, and he's calling him Akshay. So he woke up and he called and said, I think we're going to have a baby boy and we're going to name him Akshay. And sure enough, they had a baby boy and his name is Akshay. So, and Akshay is totally Guruji's baby. वो हर word उसका है Guruji, Guruji, Guruji. और गुरुजी का पिक्चर लेके घूमता है 24/7 in his hands. मंदिर में आके 20 बार तो माथा टेकता है वो, and he stands by जहां गुरुजी की गद्दी है, वहां से हिलता नहीं है. So these little kids are so fortunate कि शुरू से ही उनको गुरुजी की इतनी blessings मिली हुई हैं. बस there are many kids जो मंदिर में आते हैं. Lot of them have been blessed by Guruji. Lot of them are IVF babies. Twins हैं इतने, सब छोटे छोटे बच्चे, और इतना मेरे को मजा आता है ना when I see them. गुरुजी सबके बच्चों को इतनी blessing दे. And you know, I had the fortune of connecting to Guruji in my 50s, and these kids are so fortunate कि birth से ही they are connected to Guruji. So they are well protected, and I feel so blessed कि my daughter has Guruji now, even if I'm not there. And यही मेरी चिंता always रहती थी, and Guruji has removed that चिंता as well. I'll share a few satsangs regarding my clients. So as an attorney, I always believe that जो भी clients आते हैं मेरे office में, Guruji sends them. So as I had mentioned, the first time when I went to Guruji at that Akbar restaurant, there was this auntie and uncle who came up and they said, my daughter is going through a divorce. I need you to help her, which I was taken aback because I hadn't gone for that purpose. But that auntie was actually blessed. Her wedding was blessed by Guruji when Guruji was in physical form. And I was like questioning it. If Guruji blessed this wedding, then why is she getting divorced? And वो भी गुरुजी ने मेरे को आंसर दे दिया. मैं एक रात सोई with that question, and I do a lot of divorces. That's one part of my practice is family law. And I would always question that if Guruji has blessed it, then why are there these divorces? So Guruji ने रात को मेरे dream में आके, I'm questioning Guruji that why do people get divorces? What is a marriage? And Guruji is questioning me कि ब्याह क्यों होता है? And I'm telling Guruji कि कर्म काटना. And Guruji says, हाँ ते फिर कटले कर्म. तो मतलब उन्होंने ये आंसर दिया कि when people are married, या put together अपने karmic journey को काटने के लिए. So whether you are husband, wife, or son, daughter, we've come back to this world to clear our karma. So when you are married, don't look at it कि वो permanent होना है या नहीं होना है. There is a journey you've come to clear. So even if Guruji is blessed a marriage, it doesn't mean it's eternal. So that's the answer I got. So even if there's a divorce, you don't need to make it so litigious and have it done with animosity. You can part ways in a nice manner. So that was the answer I had gotten from Guruji in my dream. So anyway, with this person जिसको गुरुजी ने bless किया था, तो उसका थोड़ा सत्संग share करूंगी because I handled that case. So when she was getting married, वो जब गुरुजी के पास गई अपना wedding card लेके, गुरुजी चोले में थे तब, and he was sitting on the, and he actually told her that this is going to happen in a very subtle way. तो वो जब wedding card लेके गई, उन्होंने in the printer's shop, they were like all debating about RSVP, कि capital में होना चाहिए, R के बाद period होना चाहिए, S के बाद period होना चाहिए, कि RSVP should be joined. तो बड़ी debate चल रही थी in the printer's office, in the printer's shop. So when she came with the first wedding card to Guruji and she handed it to him, so Guruji smirked and he said, RSVP, RSVP, Roy Sare Vyapicho. He made that comment. But he had already told her that years ago, which dawned on her when this issue started. And she was sharing it with me. She said, you know, Auntie, Guruji had already told me this, जो मेरे को strike नहीं किया था. रोए सारे व्याह पिछो. So जब मैं उसको counseling कर रही थी, she was sharing this with me. And she had met Guruji in physical form. So anyway, Guruji actually handheld her during this entire divorce. And when he put me in to represent her, मेरे को बहुत guidance मिली गुरुजी से how to handle her case. And then on the final hearing, when we were entering the courtroom, she said, Auntie, today we are going to be winning. Because कल रात को गुरुजी ने मेरे को दिखाया कि वो courtroom में खड़े हैं, बीच में you are on one side and I'm on one side, और वो हम दोनों का हाथ पकड़ के ऐसे खड़े हैं. Means victory. So we are winning today. And itna litigious tha wo case. When we walked in there, the judge ruled everything in our favor. And we came out from there with everything what she wanted, we got. So this is how Guruji blesses his bhakt or mera kaam aasan kar dete hain. So with me, since I've connected to Guruji, mere office mein jo bhi aata hai, I spend 45 minutes talking about Guruji and 5 minutes on their case. Because I feel ki if they connect to Guruji, it's their karam they are coming with. So if he blesses them, mera kaam aasan ho jayega and they'll get blessed and their, their acrimony and their journey with their case will become even much easier. So there was one case where this client would keep calling me and making an appointment and canceling, making an appointment and canceling. Finally, she called and she said, my mom and dad are here from Gurgaon, India. So आज मैं जरूर आऊंगी. I said, you cancelled 3 times. Are you sure? She said, नहीं, I will definitely come. तो वो लोग आए मेरे office, बैठे, and after about 45 minutes, we spoke and everything. And उसके बाद they said, we are still meeting other attorneys. We will let you know. So it was at end of the day, they left my office and they went out and मैं थोड़ा बहुत काम कर रही थी before I would leave. So the cleaning people had come and then suddenly this lady walked back in and she walked into my office. मेरे office के अंदर I have Guruji Swarups all over. But in my conference room, I don't have anything. When she walked into my office, she just started crying. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, मैं जब बाहर गई parking lot में, तो मैं ऐसे up and down walk कर रही थी, and I was just praying to Guruji because my daughter was on the phone. I was waiting for her, और मैं parking lot के up and down walk कर रही थी. I was praying to Guruji कि कोई sign दो who we should hire. और मैं end of the parking lot गई और वहाँ एक Audi खड़ी थी, and it had Guruji's sticker on it on the car. Is that your car? So I said, yes, that's my car. So I ran back to ask whether it's your car और आपके ऑफिस में पूरे गुरुजी के pictures देख के I got my answer. So and हम गुड़गांव से आए and we are connected to Guruji. Till then I did not know that वो गुरुजी से connected थे. Till she saw my office and saw my car. So this is how Guruji steers people for their representation. So after that I represented her and everything worked out well. Many people Guruji has sent to my office जिनको ढेर सारी उन्होंने blessings दी हैं and has made their life easy. There are many people who've come to my office who I have connected to Guruji, जो immediately Guruji के साथ connect हो गए हैं. There was one uncle, he's a Sardar family. He had come from Long Island to my office. And I told him, Uncle, aap aao Guruji ke paas, wo aapka sara hal kar denge. Next day, he was sitting in the mandir. And unka case, it just speedily went off. There was one kid who came to my office, jiske wife ne restraining order kar diya tha, filed criminal complaints for domestic violence. I told him, you come to the mandir and sit with Guruji. So he came on a non-sangat day, jab mandir band tha. And आके बाहर खड़े हो गया, and he's calling me. ऐसे तो मंदिर तो बंद है, पर मैंने वहां नीचे किसी को बोला इसके लिए मंदिर खोल दो, let him go inside and sit. तो जाके अंदर बैठ गया, and I was on the phone with him. So मंदिर से बाहर निकला, and his mother from India was calling him. So after about half an hour, he calls me, very excited. He said, you will not believe what happened. So he said, I went inside, मैं गुरुजी के सामने बैठा, and I see him smiling at me. After half an hour, when I went out, I was sharing with my mother कि मैं मंदिर से निकल के आया और मैंने गुरुजी के picture को भेजा, and the mother says, this Guruji, when you were a baby, has come to our house and I have cooked a meal for him. गुरुजी अपनी संगत को लेके हमारे घर आई थी, and he has blessed you. And he had never known that. So there's never a coincidence. जब गुरुजी किसी को बुलाते हैं, there's never a coincidence. और उसके बाद वो केस उसका सारा dismiss हुआ. That girl was found lying, and I had represented him, and सारा चीज was cleared against him. So Guruji has so much umpteen blessings for his sangat, and today he is so connected to Guruji. And there are many, many, many other satsangs also. There was a Muslim lady who connected to Guruji, jisko Guruji dream mein aake handed her a divorce decree. She had a very jahil husband, a Muslim. वो उसको बोलता था तुम नापाक जगह जाती हो, बट वो शिद्दत से मंदिर आती थी, वहां माथा टेकती थी, एंड शी वुड कीप हर रोजाज. बाहर जाके अपना नमाज पढ़ती थी, अंदर आके बैठती थी, सारे सत्संग सुनती थी, and all the sevadars would wait to serve her chai prasad after her rozas were done. And she had utmost respect, and Guruji walked her through her divorce and got her properties and whatever she was deserving of. So Guruji is just amazing. Today in the mandir, we have, African Americans connecting, we have Hispanics coming there, we have white people coming there. It's a platform for any and everybody who wants to just come and connect to the divine. And it is such a beautiful platform जो हमें गुरुजी ने दिया है, that उसका हम जितना शुक्राना करें वो कम है. And there are so many, 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 many satsangs, but I know we have less time. I do have seva in the mandir as well. There's a state of emergency that's been declared in New Jersey, but mandir to हमारा always खुला रहता है. And I know I had told Karan uncle that I would need to end this early, but Karan uncle, I hope you don't mind if I end it soon. But there are so many satsangs, and Guruji's blessings are, with all of us, with everybody. And Karan uncle, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my satsang.
Thank you,
And
Aunty.
Guruji bless
Thank you so much.
everybody. I'm so sorry.
No,
I do need to end this.
no, I can really understand. Actually, आंटी की सेवा है न्यू जर्सी के मंदिर में, उन्होंने फिर भी इस चीज को एक्सेप्ट करके से ये सेवा कंप्लीट किया. थैंक यू सो मच आंटी. मालिक की यही आज्ञा है, तो आई वोंट फोर्स यू.
I'll just share one last satsang. If you all can see this red chola behind me, I just saw it and I feel Guruji wants me to share it. So my first birthday that came after connecting with Guruji, it was in 2014 July 30th is my birthday. So 2014 जब मंदिर बन चुका था, and always मेरे मन में था कि मेरे को गुरुजी का पहना हुआ चोला चाहिए, but I didn't want to ask for it. And I had a satsang in my home. So suddenly I get a call from an uncle saying कि आंटी आपका सामान आ गया है इंडिया से. ऐसे मेरे इंडिया से कौन सा सामान आया? नहीं, वो मेरा कोई कजन आया है बड़ा मंदिर से, एंड वो आपके लिए एक सूटकेस लेके आया है जो आपने चोला ऑर्डर किया था. ऐसे मैंने तो कोई चोला ऑर्डर नहीं किया. वो पता नहीं, अब वो इस होटल में रह रहा है तो आप जाके वो पिकअप कर लो. ऐसे पता नहीं किसने कौन सा चोला ऑर्डर किया। तो मैंने उस अंकल को कॉल करा एंड ही सेड कि आपके लिए बड़ा मंदिर से कोई चोला भेजा है। तो मैं तो भागती हुई गई, ऐसे पता नहीं किसने कौन भेजा। सो व्हेन आई वेंट टू द होटल, दिस वाज द चोला दैट्स बिहाइंड मी, द रेड वन, जो गुरुजी का पहना हुआ है। सो बिना मांगे गुरुजी का, आई थिंक गौरव अंकल ने ये चोला पैक करा के किसी सेवादार न्यू जर्सी आ रहा था, एंड ही सेंट दिस चोला विद द मैचिंग जुत्तीज। सो दिस केम फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट बर्थडे, जुलाई 30th। एंड उस टाइम आई नो बड़ा मंदिर में दे यूज्ड टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट केक फॉर गुरुजी's बर्थडे, एंड गुरुजी का बर्थडे जुलाई 7th होता है, माइनस जुलाई 30th। So after the satsang was over, there was a bag, a cloth ka bag sitting on one of my couches with a lot of swarups and cake wrapped in plastic. And sari sangat chali gayi aur wo bag pada hua tha, but nobody would own that bag. And I kept asking, ye bag kaun rakh ke gaya? Who left it? To date, we don't know who left that bag, but there were cake and there was swarups. And when I showed it to one of the Sangat who had connected to Guruji, was in connection with Guruji when he was in physical form, they said, "Ye cake to lagta hai bada mandir ka cake hai." But who brought it, how it came there, nobody knew. So it was such an amazing experience. वो suddenly मेरे को पता नहीं कहाँ से याद आया, so I just wanted to share it. But thank you again, Jai Guruji. Shukrana, Shukrana, Shukrana for this seva. And Sari Sangat ko bahut, bahut blessings. And Diwali is on the 20th. So a very, very happy Diwali to all of you. May Guruji bless everyone with good health and lots of happiness, peace, and calm in your life. Jai Guruji.